Hello, my dear friend. Tonight let me take you on a magical journey to a place where dreams and reality softly intertwine. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and let go of the day's weight. Feel the warm blanket of night wrap around you as we begin. Ellis, a marine biologist renowned for debunking myths about the sea, receives an anonymous letter about a phenomenon in Silent Harbor, a once bustling coastal town abandoned decades ago. The letter claims the water in the harbor never ripples and dares her to uncover the truth. Intrigued, Ellis arrives to find the town cloaked in fog, its decayed buildings leaning like weary sentinels. A solitary bell tolls faintly in the distance, though no wind stirs. The stillness is oppressive, the kind that makes her question if she's being watched. Ellis walks to the harbor, her boots crunching on the gravel. The water is unnervingly still, its surface reflecting the town as if it were a perfect mirror. She kneels to examine it, but the reflection doesn't match her movements. Instead, her mirrored self smiles, a slow, unsettling grin, and waves. Heart pounding, she backs away, trying to rationalize what she saw. But as she watches, ripples briefly distort the reflection, and a shape emerges beneath the surface, too large and human-like to ignore. As Ellis sets up her equipment, she notices an old fishing boat drifting into the harbor, gliding silently across the still water. She looks closer. There's no sign of an oar, engine, or wind to propel it. The boat reaches the dock, and as she cautiously approaches, faint footprints appear on the dusty deck, moving toward her. A chill creeps up her spine as the whispers start. "You're here. You'll see." She stumbles back, the whispers fading as quickly as they began. In an abandoned tavern overlooking the harbor, Ellis discovers a leather-bound journal on a dusty counter. It belongs to Captain Doyle, who vanished along with the rest of Silent Harbor's residents. The entries grow more frantic as she flips through them. Descriptions of glowing figures rising from the water, voices calling names, and warnings to avoid the harbor at night. The final entry is barely legible. It's not the sea that takes them. It's what's below. Suddenly, the journal is gone, leaving a faint trace of salt water on her hands. As dusk falls, Ellis notices the lighthouse on the jagged cliff above the harbor. Its beacon, shattered for years, inexplicably flickers to life, casting an unnatural glow. Compelled to investigate, she ascends the crumbling path to the lighthouse. Inside, the air is heavy with a metallic scent, and the lantern room is pristine, as if untouched by time. On the floor is a map etched into the wood, showing Silent Harbor with a glowing orb marked beneath the water. A single phrase is carved into the wall: "The anchor binds all." As night deepens, Ellis hears a haunting melody drifting from the harbor. The sound grows louder, harmonizing with whispers carried on the mist. She peers over the edge of the cliff and sees glowing, humanoid shapes swirling beneath the water. They move like dancers, beckoning her with fluid gestures. She's mesmerized until one of the figures points directly at her, its mouth opening impossibly wide. The song warps into distorted screams, breaking her trance. Ellis retreats to the lighthouse, her pulse racing. Determined to uncover the truth, Ellis dons her diving gear and descends into the harbor's depths. The water is unnaturally clear, revealing twisted remnants of the town's past. Wrecked boats, rusted anchors, and skeletal remains intertwined with chains. As she ventures deeper, She sees ghostly figures floating in suspended animation, their faces eerily calm, but their eyes pleading. At the center of the harbor, she finds a glowing orb chained to a massive anchor. The whispers return, louder than ever. "Free us! Break the chain!" Ellis examines the anchor, its surface inscribed with runes that pulse faintly in time with the orb. The chains binding it seem alive, writhing and tightening as she approaches. Her reflection appears in the orb, this time with a voice of its own. "You know what you must do. Release us or join us." The orb's glow intensifies, and shadowy tendrils rise from the depths, reaching for her. She's torn between freeing the trapped souls and fearing the consequences of unbinding the anchor. Back on the dock, Ellis is surrounded by translucent figures rising from the harbor. They beg her to break the anchor's chains, their voices a cacophony of desperation. But one figure, different from the others, warns her. If the anchor falls, the harbor will be unleashed. The quiet is the only barrier between them and the living. Ellis realizes she must choose. Destroy the orb and release the souls, or leave it intact to maintain the harbor's eerie peace. With trembling hands, Ellis uses a piece of the broken anchor to smash the orb. A deafening roar erupts as light bursts from the harbor, illuminating the town. The figures dissolve into mist, their whispers fading into silence. The water ripples for the first time in decades, breaking its mirror-like stillness. But as Ellis walks away, she catches her reflection in the water, staring back with a faint smile. The lighthouse's glow dims, leaving her wondering if she's truly free, or if Silent Harbor has claimed her after all. Now, enjoy some relaxing sounds to ease you into a deep night's sleep.